Oh,
Jason's going to spin it and spin Wortley with him.
And a right strike.
Oh, no! Oh, trouble for Powell! He spins it! The crash, the big one! And here comes two for one.
To the inside, they're 3x3. That looks for turn 3. Oh, no, he moved up. He moved up. Oh, no. And here comes Wong.
The pass.
For the crossover. Going to move behind. Can't do it.
Checkered flag. Tyler Mallon wins at Atlanta.
Sorry about that, little technical difficulties. Good evening, everybody. The Online Racing Network proudly presents NACOS. We're coming to you from the good old US of A for the first time this season from Thompson, Connecticut for the Thompson Throwdown presented by ORN. Hey, that's us. Today we're at the second largest paved oval on the schedule, and we are set for some more beating and banging short track action here tonight. Joining me tonight in the broadcast booth, well, it's a party up in here. Jacob Hitz joined alongside Trace Ryder, and for the first time this season, Rusty Walrus. It's great to have you guys here with us. So, Trace, we've seen these guys on the racetrack, as we typically do during practice and stuff. We've seen them try and find some speed on this racetrack because this track is pretty lanky compared to everywhere else, and it doesn't have wide grooves that we see in some racetracks. The corners are pretty tight here.
Yeah, the track itself is one of the more bank tracks that we do race here, but the long stretches make you build up so much speed, and the turns are so tight. It's got that paperclip-like configuration that makes carrying speed through the turns so much more harder.
And, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just correcting my own English. It's fine.
And Rusty, I know this is your first race up in the booth tonight, so you get a little bit of a free pass since you're new here. But what do you expect up here for your first NACOS race of the season?
You know, for every race I've tuned into, I feel like you can expect the unexpected. Just because somebody's out dominating early, they're probably going to get taken out later. So I can't wait to see how the drama unfolds, what happens in the front of the pack, in the middle of the pack, in the back of the pack, and what happens when the guys go to the back, see if they can work their way forward. I'm just ready and opened my first ever NACOS race at a track I've never seen before. I think we're in for a treat.
You're right about that. We have never been here before. This is a new addition to the schedule, one of many. You can see the NACOS entry list up on your screen right now. I don't think the title of that is centered, but what the heck, who cares? We had a late addition to that. That would be Sam Slusarski. He came bolting through the door right at the top of the hour to get in for practice. We'll talk about, or for qualifying rather, we'll talk about everybody else once qualifying is done and once we get into happy hour. Right now, looking at qualifying, under 3 minutes left in that. And one Mr. Huang Do is on the pole by 2 1,000ths of a second. The top three separated by 5 1,000ths of a second. It is tight up at the top of the board. That
it is, my lord. Tommy Bordeaux will sit on the pole. How about that?
Shout out. He broke that streak.
Yeah. I want to take a second to give a shout-out to those of you that have joined us in chat as well. See, we have some Davey Hazard and Tommy Bordeaux fans. They'll be happy to know that they are starting. Tommy is starting first, and Davey Hazard will start fifth. So keep an eye on them tonight. Davey has not finished worse than second in a NACOS race.
He's made 6 starts. His worst finish is second 3 times. He's also won 3 times, including a week ago at Delaware Speedway, and what was a pretty fun race.
That it was. Had some real long racing bits, had some short action, had some beating and banging, a little bit of drama as well. It was perfect.
And I think something like that tonight is exactly what we're looking forward to, because that's pretty much how this track works. Holy cow, Tommy Bordeaux. How many laps of qualifying? Wait, that says happy hour. I'm blind. I'm not live on the racetrack right now. Ta-da! All right.
Tommy does start on the pole, though.
Here's this shot, and something interesting here. For the first time, thanks to Tyler Mallon, we've been able to adapt the camera control master a little bit and turn it into free camera. So as you can see, we can move around kind of like the drone camera that Fox now uses nonstop. This is what we got. We can move around the racetrack. The camera angles are doo-doo here, so we'll be moving this thing around a lot tonight. I'm going to go throw this thing over in turn 2 for the start of the race 4 right now, with the final minute or so left of
The ORN
Happy Hour. The ORN drone cam. We'll make a logo for that and have it ready for Montreal next week, because we will definitely need a drone in Montreal next week. Camera angles aren't great, but that is a big racetrack to cover.
I don't even want to think about it.
All right, so we're in the final, under the final minute here of Happy Hour. Tommy Bordeaux on top of that as well. He's also apparently the pole sitter. I don't think I ever looked over to see the results of qualifying. So
result of the qualifying, Tommy Bordeaux will start on the pole. Then it is Ben Crazy, last year's champion and consistent competitor, starting second. Tyler Mallon in third. Huang Do in the Big Ugly 69 will be fourth. Davey Hazard will start fifth. And then it is surprise Hunter B starting sixth. I think this is one of the higher places I've seen him qualify so far.
Yeah.
Then it is Drive-Thru, who has got his passport, got searched by customs, and is welcomed into the United States for this race.
Sounds about right.
Ryan Karp will start outside of him in 8th. Then Pantalic will start 9th. Austin Delgado in the Tony Stewart Throwback 39 will start 10th. And it is Cody H. Gaming, Anthony Gonzalez, Sam Slufalken. And then it is Molina and Alvarez will finish out the field. And then it's us technically qualified ahead of them, but we're not actually racing. So,
okay, cool. Hunter B. Let's talk about him a minute. He finished 5th last week at Delaware. He crashed actually coming to the start-finish line thanks to some contact between himself and Mr. Easterday. He has quietly been relatively consistent. He's been mid-pack pretty much the entire season, but man, he is awake and alert and ready to go here at Thompson.
Yeah, this is one of the better qualifying performances I've seen from him. He's got a bit of a temper, from what I can recall. So as long as nobody really doesn't perceive any malice aimed towards him, I think that he actually can wind up with a good finish tonight. And if he keeps his nose clean, who knows what could happen.
120 laps here at Thompson. The field lined up along the front straightaway. Take a look at this. This is cool, isn't it?
That's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
Let me grab this drone and move it around. If I can figure out the controls on this thing, you would think it'd be WASD, but it's not. It's the actual arrows. Here is the field. The field of, I'm not even sure how many, 12, 13, something like that.
14.
Okay, cool. So it's still the smallest field on the season, but it's still a solid field and bigger than I think our largest race was a year ago. So, field begins to roll. Let's run through the top 10, maybe. I don't even know if we're going to get that far because it's a short track.
And it is. As are all of the tracks in the ORN schedule for NACOS this year.
For the most part, yeah.
So, yeah. On the
And you're out of time already.
In the 53, then it is Tyler Mallon, Huang Do, Davey Hazard, the top 5. Hunter B will start 6th. Drive-Thru, Ryan Carr, Pantalic, and Austin Delgado finish out the top 10. Boom, got it.
Perfect. Pace car makes the hard left turn. We are set to go. We're glad you're watching. Race 4 of NACOS is about to be in the air. And here we go. Green flag. We are racing.
Already stacking up as they head into turn 1. Tommy Bordeaux going to take the lead. Tyler Mallon going to follow in behind him. And then it is Davey Hazard already working on 3rd place. And they're 3 wide. Hung out to dry in the 69.
Ben Crazy fell like a rock off of that start. He started, 2nd? He's already lost 2 spots. Now almost losing more. Now he's caught in the middle, 3 wide. Huang almost gets into the back of him. Tommy Bordeaux leads the opening lap.
Tommy Bordeaux going to take command of the race early. Tyler Mallon, although breathing down his neck. Davey Hazard not too far behind him. Ben Crazy starting 2nd this time through and has fallen all the way back. And we've seen it so far this season. The outside has not been good and not been kind to those drivers. Tyler
Mallon riding in 2nd, right on the coattails of Tommy Bordeaux. We saw this, 2 weeks ago at CTMP when Tommy was able to hang on and get his first career win in just his 2nd start. Tyler Mallon was all over him then. He's all over him once again. Davey Hazard. Right now.
Oh, Davey loose.
Loose. He's still loose. Still trying to hang on. He is able to, but that's going to open up the door for Easterday in turn 1.
Ben Easterday looking to the bottom there in the 53, and now we wonder what kind of mind games are being played, because we have 120 laps here today. It's a longer track than it was last week, but more laps, so we wonder what kind of mind games people are going to be playing as we go through, and tire conservation, car conservation. It looks like we're fanning out pretty easy here, so I would expect a lot of tire saving as we go along.
Yeah, things have been relatively calm, and I apologize for any stream lagging that might be happening, because looking over, it looked like it was doing a thing for a second. But how about drive-through? Right now, sitting in P6, his best finish on the year. I don't even know. He finished 9th last week. His pan almost gives him a punt there in turn 3. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd. Here comes Easterday underneath Davey Hazard.
Hazard took him at the line there, but Easterday trying on the bottom. It looks like that bottom is real slick, because Ben has slid up. Every time he's gone into turn 1, he slid up at the apex of turn right in between 1 and 2, and it looks like he's got the nose on Hazard this time through, but can he maintain the spot as they come out of 4? To the line.
Maybe. Well, Hazard almost got the wall. That's going to hurt him. Tommy Bordeaux pulling away from Tyler Mallon. Almost a half-second lead. Pantalica underneath drive-through. Through turn 2. Still side by side.
Pantalica hungry for that top 6 spot. Pan has been a great competitor. Out of nowhere, a rookie this season. Continuing to show his nose everywhere he can be.
Back down to turn 1. Drive-through on the crossover here.
Drive through back underneath the pan, and it's been really disappointing, I think, so far for him this year to not be up there, not be in the conversation for wins, and especially dropping the engine dropping out from underneath him at his favorite track on the schedule. Has to be a little bit heartbreaking so far this season for that 77.
Contact turn 4. Cody H. Gaming and Ryan Karp got on the brakes, almost killed each other. Andreas Molina also in that, as well as David Alvarez. Let's rewind a bit and take a look. This was in turn 4, and it looks like Karp just got sideways and stomped on the brakes, and Cody ran into the back of him. David ran into the back of him. Everybody was able to keep the cars straight, though. Doesn't look like there was too much damage. Tommy Bordeaux is gone, over a second over Tyler Mallon.
Yeah. Checking out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest lead I think we've seen all season at any track. A lot of the time, these guys were within a second of each other. Even last week at Delaware, the leaders were able to pull away in a sense, but the leaders were still pretty close behind.
Remember last week that Easterday was out to a large lead, and then caution wiped
out.
That
was also courtesy of lap traffic.
Yeah, and that wound up costing him the race in the end, I think.
Can you guys walk me through how the leader's able to pull away? Is he running a different line to find more grip? Is the line evolving? He's just figuring out where to put the car. Talk me through the leader checking out here a little bit.
So sometimes some drivers' styles play better to different types of tracks, and sometimes you just have a feel for how the car needs to roll through these turns. With a paperclip track like this, you got to get on the brakes, but not too much. You can't lock the car up going into 1 and 2. It just kills your momentum all the way through. So Bordeaux, it seems like, has just found a nice, smooth, consistent line that's letting him set these nice lap times at a click, and he's just found a better way around than everybody else, it seems, so far.
It's been working. Almost a 2-second lead now. He's led every single lap. Still a long way to go. Here's Easterday all over Tyler Mallon on that back bumper for the second spot.
Now, there is a little bit of bad blood between these two. They've been bumping and grinding as we go through the past couple weeks, so I don't know. Ben's not the kind of guy that's going to dump without cause, but you got to keep an eye on these two, because they more than likely will be bouncing off each other.
So is Ben going to start playing mind games here, just poking his nose and just showing his front bumper to the car here? What do you guys think Ben's going through Ben's mind right here?
Oh, it's got to be. You got to force the mistake, right? So he's going to try to get Mallon to slide up the track so he can open up the door and he can just squeeze on by. And just putting all that pressure right there on the back of that car is going to make Mallon much more on the wheel and much more on edge and more likely to make a mistake.
Easterday kind of took a little wide entry there into turn 1, lost a little bit of ground on Mallon. Going to try and get it back down the back straightaway and send it down in onto turn 3. You see they're running that line, kind of start on that almost asphalt part, that different line, then cutting down underneath towards the bottom. Hunter B bounced off the wall, got into Austin Delgado coming off turn 4. Everybody's still rolling. Got a little scary back there for a moment.
For 1 and 2, looks like Austin's going to take that spot, although Hunter's not giving it up for him.
Delgado, I mean, he's been relatively quiet so far this season. He did finish 3rd last week at Delaware. I still don't know how that happened, but it happened.
That insane finish. caused that.
He
was
finished
in 5th going into turn 3 and finished the race third.
He finished third. This is his 5th career NACOS start. He won CTMP a year ago. That was his only start last season. He's made every start this season, and I believe third is his best finish on the year. Didn't do so hot at CTMP, and was somewhat of a contender at ACMS to open up the season, but consistency has been key for that 75 team all year long.
I've been noticing a trend. Listening to you guys discuss the drivers, it feels like the rookies or the guys that are new to the season have really stepped up in as far as their competition levels with the veterans. What do you think these guys are doing to compete with a drive-through and a bend right now?
I mean,
Go ahead.
They're outperforming them. They are just kicking their butts week in and week out. I mean, we've seen Huang and Ben be close and contend for wins at the past couple of races. Last week at Delaware, both were really strong. Davey really isn't a rookie, so he's held his own weight. But, I mean, drive-through has been non-existent so far this season. Half the time I forget David Alvarez is even in the race.
Oh,
I mean, we see Cody every now and again, which is good. We know he's still there. And other than that, I mean, Ben, drive-through, and Cody are the only drivers that have run every single race. Today they're making their 17th career starts, all three of them. Nobody else is anywhere close to that. David Alvarez, this is his 14th start. Huang, this is his 11th. They're holding their own.
You got to keep in mind, too, that just because you're a rookie to NACOS doesn't mean you're a rookie to simulation racing or the game that we use, NR 2003, either. So a lot of talent has come into this league and has upped the ante, really. And it's nice to see these guys come in and put in the work and be competitive.
They have put on a pretty good show for us so far.
Bordeaux is gone.
Yeah, I mean, 23 laps complete. It's a 3-second gap. He's still clicking off insanely fast lap times. He's still within a tenth of his fastest lap of the race, which is the fastest lap between everybody. Almost 3.5 seconds, the gap between Malin. Cody H. Gaming was put a lap down a couple laps ago. Sam Slusarski down 2 laps. And that's everybody in the field so far.
And I'm starting to wonder when, as Delgado looks underneath the drive-thru here going into turn 3 and 4, I wonder when drivers are going to consider starting to think about tires, because we have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Yep.
But you're not going to have enough grip to do 120 laps here. You're going to be on a sheet of ice by like lap 75. So, I wonder what the tire strategy is here. Are they going to try to hold out for a caution? Because there's not a lot of side-by-side racing here so far. It's been a real consistent, real fast, single-file racing. Pretty close still, even. So you wonder if these drivers are going to have to do some green flag pit stops.
Everybody's doing their best social distancing routine right now, especially the leader. He's long gone. We got one stopped up towards the wall. That's Sam Slusarski just trying to get the heck out of the way. That's going to put him, I believe, 3 laps down.
And you can joke on Mech all you want, but I got to give him kudos for still being out here just trying to put laps down.
Well, yeah, keep in mind, he wasn't here for any of practice. These are some of the first laps that he's put on this racetrack, I think. Mm-hmm. He may have done a little bit of testing outside of NACOS, but those 30 minutes of practice before the race are pretty important as Cody H. Gaming slaps the wall off turn 4. As Tyler Malin closes in on him, he'll take the high side and go by the wayside. He lets Malin by, can't quite get Easterday by. That just shows the gap between second and third place right now.
Yeah, one of the areas I was thinking about, as you mentioned lap times, the guys' all-time best lap of the race is only a 10th faster than what they're running right now. So guys are being really consistent out there, hitting their marks, putting down these laps. So that's been impressive me as you cycle through the entire field. Everybody is on it right now and being consistent throughout the race.
A lot of these cars looking clean. Not a lot of contact, because typically if we don't see a caution, we'll see some cars with some knocked-in fenders. I've seen damage on Cody from when he bounced off the wall. I've seen a little bit of right-side damage on drive-thru that he may have poked the wall at one point. Other than that, it has been astonishingly clean for the first 30 laps. Already a quarter of the way through. Go ahead.
And I'm just impressed. It is a big racetrack, but look at how close these competitors are. You could almost throw a blanket on about 30 third through sixth place there as Cody's moving up the track here. Drive-thru's looking for an opportunity, but this is starting to heat up here in about the fifth, sixth position.
Now, these guys are all over each other, and right behind them you've got Delgado and Hunter B. They're still battling as well. Drive-thru trying to get himself back into a rhythm. These first 3 races have not been good to him so far. He won at Slinger last year. If he would have had one better finish, there were a plethora of tracks that if he would have finished just a little bit better, he would have been the champion. So he finished second. He hasn't been backing that up so far. However, remember a season ago, Ben had an insurmountable lead going into the final 4 races of the season. Drive-thru was able to close that gap. So the second half of the season, relatively the same. That's where we could see Drive-thru start to look pretty good when we've got tracks like Slinger and DuQuoin. Iowa's coming up in the near future. Heck, we're at Montreal next week. That's a pretty good track for him.
DuQuoin is probably his best track, I think. Just from personal experience racing with him, I think DuQuoin is his best chance to win a race this season.
And he would have won it a year ago if he wouldn't have merged just too early, gifted the win to Cody H. Gaming. If he wouldn't have done that, Drive-thru would be your defending champion here.
I would like to petition the ORN race department or graphics department to make me a drive-through burn about DuQuoin count, because I believe we're probably the double digits by now.
Oh, I think so. I think we already had 3 or 4 at Slinger maybe, but he's never going to be able to live that down. I'm sorry, but
he needs. I'm pulling for his redemption this year. I give him heat for it, but it's all in good fun. I'm really pulling for his redemption this year. I'd love to see him put it in victory lane.
It's a shame that race already has a title sponsor. Otherwise, I would take it and call it the Drive-Thru Redemption 100. Just to see what would happen. Tommy Bordeaux is gone. I mean, it's almost a 5-second lead right now over Tyler Mallon, and we think of Mallon as one of the best NR drivers around. Tommy Bordeaux, I have no words. I don't think I've seen this big of a domination at a short track in a while, especially in this league.
And early on he had some terrible luck, so he wasn't even a factor. And you were just like, oh, it's Tommy, whatever. And then he just has started clicking off wins, and it's been crazy.
This only reminds me of Autodrome Chaudière last year when Cosman led every single lap and we went caution-free. I'm not saying that's going to happen here today, but we're almost a third of the way through the race, and right now we haven't had a caution. It took us till about halfway, I think, at Saskatoon until we really started to see some cautions. But man, oh man, Tommy is just putting on a clinic here.
Yeah, and it's really getting to be interesting to see as the long run goes on how these battles are developing, because Davey Hazard is now pulling up on Ben for that podium spot.
Need to go backwards with the cameras, not forwards. Yeah, you're right. Here comes Hazard.
Hazard is all over EC.
He hasn't finished worse than second in his last 6 starts, his only 6 starts. Gotta wonder if he's going to try and not break that streak here today.
Hazard is sporting the interesting choice of a Mercedes front end on that 75.
Yeah, well, to each their own, I guess.
Bordeaux also driving a Mercedes, and I believe...
here he goes!
Hazard underneath him. Easterday, here's they come across the line. It looks like...
dead even. Hazard, I think, got him at the line, but Easterday still fighting on that outside. Won't be enough.
I think the play's here to give it up to him, yeah.
Hazard takes third away.
Maybe he's trying to make a move. Hazard's going to give him the room. That's interesting. I think maybe he's getting bored of some single file, trying to get some racing going. But
I think he may have overdrove turn 3 just a little bit. Drive-through. Did he oopsie whoopsie? Did we do the commentator's curse? He has fallen back to P9. That might explain the smoke that I saw in turn 3 a little while ago. And, yep, Drive-through binned it in turn 3. This was on lap 40. Just lost it all on his own. And lost 2 spots because of it. Delgado and Hunter B able to pass him. Will go on board on the back bumper of Mr. Talica back here and see what he saw from out the mirror. Round he goes.
You hate to see it. And I was talking about it. Tire wear is going to start really factoring in here, and I think he might have got a little overzealous.
It's possible. So he has fallen way far back, and he's going to have to worry about Bordeaux catching him. Bordeaux's lapped Carp, Molina, and Alvarez in the last couple of laps. And he's closing in on Alexander Gonzalez, closing in on lapping Mech for a 6th time already. But we still do
wonder
have...
what's got to be going on in that's in the mind of the 70s. He's probably which is my best drive-through person. Oh man, I just dropped the damn car.
Yeah.
He probably just did the
Yeah, that sounds about right. Field coming along through turn 2. Well, the rest of the field. Bordeaux's already at the front stretch. He's long gone. Almost a 6-second gap. Slusarski is back on pit road. I think he's just doing that to get out of everybody else's way.
I think the good news here for drive-through is that if he's gonna get lapped, it's a while till he get to Hunter B again. So
yeah,
he's gonna be racing for that free pass spot. It looks like.
And Slusarski will come on to pit road and get tires. Wasn't sure if he was just trying to get out of the way. He indeed did take tires. Did he park it? I no longer see him on pit road. Sam Slusarski retired from the event. Your first retiree, the driver of the 97 car. And Cosman, I am very disappointed at you. I finally got a chance to look at chat. What the heck, man? How do you keep forgetting about NACOS? You won, half the races you started in last year.
You're letting Bordeaux run away with it.
You won it on a drum, which will be at in 2 weeks. You won at Edmonton, which got cut, which was the dumbest move I've ever seen. But hope to see you next week at Montreal. I know it's a road course. It might not be your cup of tea, but
I'm not sure where. Oh, Hazard is caught up to Malin now.
Oh, that's good. We have a battle. Here we go. Trying to keep the streak alive. I really need to get an onboard for Hazard.
Play a factor here. Oh, I wonder if Malin's going to try to cross him.
Oh, this is going to get good.
And behind them, you've got Easterday and Huangdo. They're battling as well. David Alvarez able to get up out of the way. Hazard right on the back bumper. Huang is underneath in that battle for 4th. Now got loose off the corner. Easterday gets the launch on the straightaway.
And it looks like the attack is off now for Davey Hazard as Huang back underneath of Easterday as they drive down the backstretch here, heading into turn 3. The big ugly 69 underneath of the similarly colored 53.
Yeah, this is a spotter's worst nightmare for these two guys to be racing each other. Huang is able to make the pass, and he will slide into the 4th position. As Malin now able to pull away a little bit from Hazard. Got to wonder if that lap traffic was hindering Malin, and that's why Hazard was able to catch up with him more, if Hazard's just decided to back off for now.
Unconfirmed reports say that the reason the 69 is so large on the side of Huang's car is because his spotter works part-time on the International Space Station and can only spot from space, so they made it as big as possible.
That sounds good enough for me. Not Hazard. Who am I talking about? Tommy Bordeaux. Closing in on halfway. It's been a long day, believe me. Closing in on halfway. He's in turn 1. Second place just got to the start-finish line. He is almost half
roller skates right now.
It is a Tommy Bordeaux show.
It really has been since the drop of the flag.
The Tommy Thompson throwdown here. I mean, holy cow. Long gone.
Ooh, drive-through wiggled again. And Hazard back. Oh, he and Tyler Malin now have some open space. No lap cars in front of him. For quite a bit.
Drivers around.
Trying to find him on the... Oh, there he is on the apron of 3 and 4. So he falls 1 lap down. He stays on the lead lap. He was up by the wall. What?
Was it turn 3 again?
He just overcorrected it this time. Instead of spinning it out, he slapped the outside wall.
Oh, nose first. That's not good.
Let's go send our drone in there post after it happened and take a look from just the infield here in turn 3. Lock that, wind it up, and here we go sliding in, and there he goes up into the wall. We stay green, but he's now 1 lap down.
You can zoom in, you can just see the disappointment on the on the face of the player model.
It is a stack up back here.
What have I
Behind drive-through,
wow.
You've got Carp, you've got Molina, then you've got Huang and Easterday, then Pan, David Alvarez trying to get out of the way. Here comes Austin Delgado underneath. And we are now officially halfway at the Thompson Throwdown, brought to you by Tommy Bordeaux. I mean, holy cow. Gone.
And I wonder if Hazard stopped attacking on Malin because, I guess, collectively together, maybe they're faster? It's usually how that works, right?
I just...
I know that works for drafting, obviously, but I don't know how that works. Affects,
well, they have closed it in. The gap is now only 5 seconds. It was more than 5 seconds
Cool.
a couple of laps ago, so they are making progress. I don't know how
Two
well...
F1 pit stops can happen in the time between the first place and second place crossing the line.
I don't know how well bump drafting might do at a short track, but we'll have to see how it works out. Oh,
I am noticing that the lap times at this point in the race are about 2 to 3 tenths slower than they were to begin. So at what point do some of these guys maybe start to think about making a pit stop, or what are you feeling here for some of these drivers?
Well, I think here now it's fair game. Now it's how long can you hold on to your spot, how long can you hold on to your car? Because if you, whenever you're...
Hazard all over Malin. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's going to be about having the freshest rubber by the end of the race at this point. So if we're going to go caution-free as we've been so far, it's a matter of how long can you hold on to your car and how long can you hold your position. How long can you be competitive on old rubber?
But here's the thing. We've only seen them drop 2 tenths at a short track. That's pretty good. I wonder if these guys are going to stay on these tires for a little while. Trouble front straightaway. One car got turned around. Ben Easterday, he gets clobbered by Andreas Molina.
He got collected
and that will be the caution.
There it is. Now they're going to take tires.
Easterday got turned by Andreas Molina. So the Andreas Molina curse strikes for the second time this season. Ooh. We've been caution-free for over halfway, and it looks like Molina just turned down into Easterday and turned him up into the wall.
Yeah, that seems a little unnecessary there. I'm sure they're going to take a look at that after the race. Or Ben Easterday for the second week in a row involved in somebody else's problem.
I've never seen a more unlucky driver than Ben Easterday. Holy cow.
And he just... Okay, that camera angle sucks. Let's go on board with Easterday here, because we have the technology. He held his line, just got hooked. Plain and simple.
I wonder if Molina didn't like how Ben was racing him or what, but it didn't...
Well, Molina's one lap down, and it's feeding time at the zoo. Here comes everybody as the pace car is doing some dancing in the grass down there. Let's go hijack the drone and take that for a spin down pit road. That's not pit road. This is pit road.
Cody's the lucky dog? Is that why he's still out there?
No, drive-through would be the lucky dog here.
Oh, and Ben missed the spot. Hazard was the roll on pit road.
Hazard, did he take 2 tires? Hazard is long gone.
He had to.
It took forever for everybody else to get off the track, and Easterday's the last one to go. Let's take a look. It was indeed 2 right side tires for Mr. Hazard.
Ooh, ballsy
Hazard with
call.
the strategy, and he takes the lead. Are those left sides going to last that long?
You know what?
I don't know.
We're about to find out if Davey Hazard is a mad genius or just mad.
I mean, we're just barely past halfway. Cody did get the free pass. I'm not sure.
Lose that many more laps?
Well, drive-thru's a lap down, Molina's a lap down, Karp is a lap down, Alvarez is a lap down. Everybody else is on the lead lap except for Slutharski, who's long gone. He's on his way back home to Rhode Island, which really it won't take him that long. He'll probably be there in like 20 minutes because the states are so darn small.
He'll be there in 20 and through it in 15.
Yeah. So we're still under caution. Invisible Boatmobile is still out there leading the field around. I'm assuming we'll go green next time by then, as that means we'll have 69 laps complete when we get the green flag. Nice. All right. So we are doubling up. Cody gets the free pass. Everybody else is pretty much where they need to be. So let's run through the grid here, Trace, before we get the restart.
All right, well, you got Davey Hazard going to restart first at that 2-tire stop. Tommy Bordeaux, race domination expert, in second place. Tyler Malin in third. The Big Ugly 69 in fourth of Huang. And then you've got Austin Delgado in the 39. Pantalica in sixth. Hunter B still up here in the top half of the field in the 47. And it is Anthony Gonzalez in the 36, Ben Easterday in the 53, and Cody H. Gaming.
All right, I'll stop playing with the drone now. Here we go. Green flag. We're back in the air. Invisible Boatmobile's on pit road, and Hazard is long gone.
And this could be bad for Bordeaux. It depends on how he handles turn 2. Is he going to drop in line here? Or is he going to? Oh,
here comes Bordeaux.
Oh,
the crossover, and here comes Delgado on the bottom. Huang sends it up high. Delgado slides into fourth, almost slides into Huang.
Now, big pinch off of turn 4 there. Bordeaux might not like that too much. So they continue to race single file. Hazard not getting away.
Malin got loose there through turn 2. Here comes Hazard on the, not Hazard, Bordeaux on the top. Huang on the bottom trying to get by.
I don't know if the outside's the play. Is it the play? He's got a good run. Oh my God.
Oh, he almost lagged into him. He's got, Huang 3 wide.
Oh.
Now back to 2 wide.
Now, everybody's got a fresh driver looking for slots. Here we go.
Huang underneath. And now here comes Delgado fighting back on the outside.
He's gonna.
Whew.
Bordeaux's gonna slide to third here.
Yeah. That's
That is
exactly
the first time
where
I've
he
seen somebody
restarted.
make the outside work.
Oh, Malin got loose. Malin got loose. Here comes Bordeaux. Huge run.
Bordeaux's going to take that easily. Looks like heading into 3 and 4 here as Malin got way loose heading into turn 1 and 2.
He is blinking a lot. It's like David Alvarez on steroids out here. Still blinking. Streamlabs is lagging. That's not good. I apologize, folks, for skipping frames. That's good. Great, neat, grand. All right. The whole world is ending right now.
We're skipping them. We didn't need them.
Well, maybe.
Well, the hunt is on right now with Bordeaux with the 4 fresh stars, trying to hunt down Davey Hazard with the 2. I've been keeping an eye on the way Davey's been running the line in 3 and 4. I like his exit on 3 and 4, but we got a battle here in second place. It's not over.
Here we go.
Not giving up that second place spot.
And Huang Do's right there ready to pounce.
Mal's going to take the spot on the outside there. We got a great battle for second place here. Is the outside the way to go suddenly?
Maybe with that fresh rubber. I mean, we didn't see a lot of side-by-side racing in that first half of the race. So it's possible.
Because Huang just took third away from Bordeaux on the outside there.
Yeah.
Maybe that outside's got more speed than we thought.
I think we're going to have a battle for the lead here any lap now. Look at the 18 closing in here.
Oh, yeah. I think that 2 tires was a great position play, but I don't know if it was good for this. Still this much time left in the race, so we'll see how Hazard handles himself as he running running the black strip pretty much as he heads into the turns, and it's been see how that car holds on.
Perhaps he was banking on a caution flag that maybe around this time that maybe everybody else would pit and he'd be able to take 4 tires. Then Easterday got sideways with Hunter B underneath him. Everybody's able to keep rolling.
As they're starting to fan back out single file here, it looks like Huang giving a little pressure to Malin. And Bordeaux dives it in the 3 and 4.
Pantalica has arrived in 5th place. I don't know how we could miss that bright pink car, but somehow we did. And there he is. We're still skipping frames. Cool, thanks. I think I know why. I believe it's the free camera, so we may not use that next week at Montreal. We'll have to see. But Bordeaux trying to fight for third.
Maintaining it about a 2. That's about oh wow! Opened up a gap there. It was down to like a car lead, and then opened up to like 7. So maybe Hazard's finding his stride now. I don't know. This is
maybe
an interesting shuffle. As Bordeaux, after showing pure dominance so far in the race, is not made quick work and went backwards.
Yeah, after he lost his track position, it's been a battle back here for 4th. He just can't work his way back forward to the front where he was dominant.
And Bordeaux has clinched, leading the most laps. He's led 66, halfway with 60. So he will have those bonus points in his pocket. I believe he's either second or third in the points. I believe he is third with Malin being second and then Hazard out in front. And Davey Hazard, he's trying to pull an Easterday, except Easterday didn't win until I think race 5 or 6. Here's Bordeaux fighting for third on Huang.
All over that bumper, trying to just get him loose. And I wonder if Malin is the one holding up those line here, as it seems like they've gone single file racing, but it looks like Tyler doesn't get the better entrance that everybody else is getting, as they seem to have to brake check him every time. Going through turns 1 and 2, Tyler Malin still second place. Field working itself out. Drive-through still back here, hanging out, having a good time. How you doing, buddy? next week you'll get him.
Yeah, he's still 1 lap down. He is the first car 1 lap down, though, in the 11th position. And he just bounced off the wall off turn 4.
Did he really? Oh,
yeah,
no.
I caught that on the TV2 cam as he was coming up. Just bounced off the wall. He's still able to hang on to all of his spots. Didn't lose that much.
Wouldn't be surprised if this track is this is its first and only season here.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, that's going to freeze for... Well, do I close this and pray it doesn't crash the game? I just got to leave it open. I don't want to risk crashing the game and everything else with it. So, free camera might kill the stream for the next 35 laps or so, but it'll go into hiding come next week. Meanwhile, Battle for Third.
We had its fun. The drone costs are too much.
Yeah.
I was about to compliment how kind of these guys feel like they're kind of taking their time hitting their marks, but then the last couple laps here, Wong and Bordeaux were really starting to heat up there, and their patience was kind of, I felt like it was about to go with the winner right here as we're seeing the 57 take a peak. So I was curious, you guys, at what point do you just say it's time to go and you start using that front bumper a little bit, because it's a narrow racetrack, so what point is the go time for these guys back here in third and fourth?
Huang got loose there. He's going to lose.
Yeah, Huang just drove it up the hill. He's going to now have to fight.
Bordeaux looks underneath him. I think just the go time is really about how long of a run do you think you're on? How much time do you think you have? How much faster do you think you are than everybody else? So I think the go time has got to be sooner rather than later at this point.
Well, I think go time is starting to creep up on these guys. We're coming in to 30 laps to go. We're almost 3/4 of the way through this race. You can see that, especially out in front, because Tyler Mallon's beating the back bumper off of Davey Hazard coming off turn 4.
He's going to look high there, not going to get the run there.
He is right there. This is getting good.
It's heating up there. Those tires are starting to wear.
Yeah, we were focused on third spot, and we missed Mallon kind of approach Hazard and try to get by him here.
He's looking at 90 laps on those left side tires. So,
but again, we only saw a 3/10 drop off on those tires, so it's not like the tires have that big of a fall off.
Except for him.
But we know how Mallon is able to pretty much save his tires everywhere. But even then, he took 4 on that last pit stop.
If you're Davey Hazard right now, are you driving in your mirror, or are you just putting your car right in the middle of the racetrack to make it almost impossible to pass it? What do you think is going through the mind of the 75 right now?
I think he's checking the mirrors out of the turns, and other than that, he's just driving.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Until somebody becomes a problem, like they show up alongside of you, I think that Hazard's got that cool head and just checks it out of the mirror, checks him where he's at, and then just drives.
29 laps to go.
Interesting enough, Bordeaux did not take that spot from Huang, despite Huang climbing the ladder there in turn 2 a couple laps ago.
Yeah. But they've been able to kind of keep their distance between Mallon and Hazard. They haven't really fallen back or been able to reel them in all that much.
So with it kind of fanning out here up front, and I was looking through the field, and I just want to say maybe we shouldn't talk about last season, because now Ben Easterday, Drive-Thru, and David Alvarez are all next to each other.
Well, keep in mind that Easterday got turned. He may still have some damage. Drive-Thru spun and is a lap down, and David is just trying to hang on for dear life, I fear, in that 68 car.
And I wonder now if Mallon might have got a little overzealous and burned off some rubber, trying to make those moves on Davey, but he is closing back up.
Or he's saving and waiting for the last 20 laps, but we're getting close to that point. Huang is starting to reel in Mallon for that second spot. Bordeaux dropping back to the clutches of Austin Delgado. What in the world? Pan must have really fallen back a bumper to the back of the 75, and they're all able to hang on.
Mallon,
that could have been big.
Shot there.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but whew. It's getting racy.
And Delgado got loose.
He's off in the grass.
Oh, yeah, I hate to see it. Running 5th place.
Everybody else is going to get by. Pantalica takes 5th. We stay green. We'll get a quick replay of that from on board the 39 machine. Never mind, I don't have an onboard for him. I thought I did. But let's fast forward a bit and hijack the drone. And this is over in turn 1 and 2. There you see he's already sideways as the drone's taking its grand old time to get there. and back it up. And he's already sideways there, just able to get it down on the flat. Here's your battle for the lead, the top 3 spots.
Yeah, relatively unchanged here since Mallon gave that shot to Hazard. And it's anyone's race up here in the top 4.
Yeah.
As we saw TTMP, we watched second and third wreck each other out at one point. That was fun.
Well, that was on a restart, too. We've only seen one caution flag, which would be the lowest on the season. We still have yet to see a caution-free race. We thought we would have one at CTMP, and then the whole world got turned upside down, and we got 4. So this would be the cleanest race, technically, on the schedule. Autodrome Chaudière was the last oval that we had that was caution-free. Obviously, that's not the case today, but and of course, at Chaudière, we also ran 200 laps. Here, we're running 120, and we've seen a caution. We've also seen more cars here than we did at Chaudière. 20 laps to go this time by, and Huang is heating up the back bumper of Tyler Mallon for that second spot. And then you got Tommy just kind of chilling back there in the 4th spot.
Yeah, what if Tommy's there just lurking, seeing what these two in front of him do?
I think he's worried they might take each other out. Here we go.
Well, oh, there he goes, underneath of Mallon there into turn 3. The 69 looking underneath. Mallon throws the pinch.
Woo.
And Mallon's going to keep that spot.
For now, we'll see what Huang can do coming back through turn 1. Stay single file. Mallon pulls away a little bit on the center of the corner.
And this is letting your race leader, Davey Hazard, get away. And this might have been part of Bordeaux' strategy, because look, now he's right there with them as they start. They got side by side for one turn, and now Bordeaux's back in the picture. So I wonder if he's expecting more racing up front, and then he's going to try to slide in and strike. But
that was Chaudière that went green all the way, and that you won and led every single lap. Yeah, Cosman, that'd be the one. that would indeed be the one. Hazard now catching lap traffic. Cody H Gaming is back on the lead lap. But for how long is the question, because Hazard is knocking on the door.
Cody's a class act. He'll go higher.
Yeah. There he goes, up out of the way. But he might drop in before Mallon can get by. That's exactly what will happen. And Huang is back on the back bumper.
I don't think he's left that back bumper. I think it's just been an illusion. He might be hooked there. They might be towing each other. Somebody check that.
He might have to move quick here because Davey's checking out right now in the lead with that two-tire strategy. That thing is playing out beautifully, working to perfection as we're coming down to about 15 to go.
And Cody, being the absolute professional he is, will pull inside and not affect the races as much as he can.
He will not play the role of Ryan Newman here today. That role will belong to somebody else. And Huang Do somehow, at some point, set the fastest lap of the race, a 20.856 in this last stint. I don't know when he set it, but he has broken the curse set by Tommy Bordeaux with the fastest lap, and he is all over Tyler Mallon again.
And they seriously have not given up more than a car length between them for the past 3 or 4 laps. I've been watching them. It's been an interesting race. And now I don't know if Bordeaux wants to push the issue here, or if he's going to wait for Bordeaux to make a move and then just try to push him along. But they've just been back and forth.
But I think Tommy's going to have to come to a point where he's going to start to turn it up, just because if he stays behind and the 69 and the 18 can't pass each other, caution.
Caution.
Oh, turn 4, somebody crashed. Was that?
Drive-thru is not looking good.
Was it drive-thru again?
Oh, indeed it was. Oh, drive-thru went upside down in turn 4. To quote the great Moonhead, pick up the phone and call somebody. We need an ambulance for this man. He just spun it, and David Alvarez had nowhere to go but straight into the driver's side door of the 77, rolled him over right in front of Austin Delgado, and drive-thru causes his first caution of the day. We have an onboard with Mr. Alvarez. Let's go there. No, we don't. Let's go on board with drive-thru then. I'm so close.
And DT in turn 3, not the winning combination today.
No,
he's 0 for 3.
Delgado went Code Brown there for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
and
wow.
Dodging on the pits here.
Everybody's staying out. Everybody's staying out except for the last. The only folks that pitted that were on the lead lap: Ben Easterday, Austin Delgado, end of list. Cody H Gaming will
I think
get
they're
back
taking
on the
tires
lead
like,
lap.
These other guys have been at 310s might be a factor here.
Well, that means they're going to be flying here.
Yep. That might be the better call here.
TS, we've got 10 laps. You might as well just stay and then go to Shield House once we're done. It won't be long. I promise. No green-white checkers in this. We go until we're done, and then that's it. Well, until the guy with the flag.
They tell us we're done.
Yeah. And if we go to overtime, oh boy. I don't want to be here to see us go to overtime.
I got to agree with the leader's decision to stay out here. You got the track position. You're going to get a good jump on the restart, and I think the guys behind you might they're going to stack it up a little bit. So I got to agree with the leader's pit decision here. But as far as the other guys that stayed out, how do you feel about the 18 and the 69 decision here?
Well, I think it's an obvious choice. I think if Davey didn't go, Davey staying out was the obvious choice as well because I mean he's held him off this long. He'll get the jump like you said. But I think that everybody else was going off of him. If he was going to pit, I think other people might have went with him. But I don't think you can give up the track position if you're in the top 5 at this point.
We're shaping up for an 8-lap dash for the checkers because we're single file right now. We'll double up this time by, I'm assuming, and then we'll see the invisible boatmobile turn onto pit road and we'll get rocking and rolling. Everybody doubling up.
I love when they get in formation. They do it so eloquently. There's like an art to it. It's beautiful. I love to see it.
Oh my! All right, that's a new one for me.
Listen, racing is an art.
All right, guys. Who's got the best shot to win if we go caution free? Trace, go first.
Malin. Honestly, he's the one that's not afraid to give people the boot. So I think I'm going to give him the vote of confidence here. What is Pantalica doing?
Rusty, what do you think?
I'm just gonna have to go with the leader, Davey Hazard. He's a 3-time winner. He's got the experience. I think he picks up checker flag number 4 today.
Invisible boatmobile is in. Fields off turn 4. Hazard's not wasting any time. Off to the races. Here we go. 8 more. Tommy Bordeaux bump drafting the 18 into turn 1. That pushed him in line. Hunter B goes way wide.
Oh, Hunter's way out of the groove there. It looks like Bordeaux was trying to push Malin clear so that he could get clear of Huang, who is stuck on the bottom underneath here. And Malin is there. He is right on the bumper.
Alexander Gonzalez got loose off the corner, able to save it, put a big block on Delgado, who's now giving him the business in turn 1 underneath him.
Stacking everybody up. Oh my God, Easterday took everything to keep that car fleet.
Banging.
Give Hunter the spot. Ooh.
Oh, and there he goes. Got turned by Hunter B. Big wreck. Upside down. Gonzalez. Caution flag.
2 rollovers so far this race.
And we are shaping up for a green-white checkered.
Baby.
A 3-car crash, and this changes everything. Alexander Gonzalez tried to get crashed in turn 1, but Delgado wasn't having any of it. Here's the replay starting from turn 1 with the bumper and the bumper. And then they make it down the back straightaway. Fine and dandy. Here comes Hunter B like a bat out of hell. And he just gets into the back of him. Don't know if he just overdrove it or if Gonzalez got on the brakes too early. But in the end, that sends Gonzalez up on top of the wall and up and over. Easterday nowhere to go but into the outside wall, and will go on board with the 47 of Hunter B through this crash. I actually have it on board for him this time. I'm not lying like the other 5 times. And
I think honestly, got to go on Gonzalez there. That block was.
And it's so early, coming to 7 to go there.
Yeah, and just through that was a blight blocked half the field.
Yeah.
And then
so we're gonna have a restart with either 2 or 3 laps to go. Everybody's off pit road.
Ben, Easterday's bad luck continues.
Easterday
involved in someone else's garbage. Yeah. They're gonna double up here.
They are gonna double up here, so we will have 3 laps to settle it. Here at Thompson.
White, checkered.
Well, it's a green-white checkered, but we're close enough.
Well, it's just an extended green. White checkered.
If they crash, on the white flag, we should stay green. If they crash with 2 to go, unless it's going to impede the leader's progress, we should stay green. 3 to go is where things will get dicey, and we'll see what the officials do. I'm just going to sit back and pray they make it, and we don't need to worry about finishing under caution, because that would be a shame for this race. And who is that blinking on the bottom? That's Andres Molina. Get off the track, please. Okay, here we go. 3 laps to settle it from Thompson. Blinker in the back, party up front, green flag, and gone is Davey Hazard.
Down into turn 1, Davey Hazard's going to maintain
3 wide.
Top
Cody H Gaming sends it.
Cody H looking for some real estate.
Oh! And Gonzalez and Pan make contact. Here comes Delgado.
Now underneath of Hazard gives him a bumper. Hazard hold
2 more. What?
Long. And here comes Austin Delgado.
Austin for 3rd. Underneath Bordeaux, side by side. Bordeaux gets the launch off. We're coming to the white flag this time by. Huang sends it in on Delgado. Slides up, wrecks him. Delgado's around, coming to the white flag. We will not see a caution.
That's
1 lap to go.
The cars were involved. Here we go, turn 1 and 2. Tyler Mallon looking at close the gap. Davey Hazard coming out of turn 2.
Is he gonna send it? Is he gonna punt him?
He's gonna send it.
Backs up the corner, looking to cut inside. Checkered flag in the air. Davey Hazard wins 2 in a row. Trouble behind. Hazard wins at Thompson. Big crash behind Huang. He gets hit by Delgado. Up and over goes Huang. He will not cross the start-finish line. Now he will, and Davey Hazard has done it again.
Oh, there's going to be some penalties at the end of this race, boys. Huang got dumped by Metallica.
Oh, that's what that was? We'll go and take a look at it. But Davey Hazard is the luckiest man in the world. The 2-tire strategy works. He's on 120-lap old left side tires, and he wins his 2nd race in a row, his 4th in his career, and he now is the most winningest driver in NACOS, breaking the tie he held with Cosman, the guy that owns one shoe. How about it?
And we've got dual burnouts between Hazard and Bordeaux.
Well, I think Bordeaux's just happy he finished right now. Yeah, the 2 Mercedes out here burning it up. On the front straightaway. What a race.
And we got to get him in here. Of course we do. We got to get a burnout interview. Get in here, Dave. Where are you at? And here it is, our first ever ORN burnout interview. What is up, Davey Hazard?
What's going on, guys? Missed you.
We missed you too. I honestly didn't think I'd see you this week.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Well,
okay.
Just based on the first part.
All right. Understood.
I doubted the 2-tire strategy. And you have made me a believer. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
What's going on, guys? Good. That was great. That was a very interesting race.
I think we're going to see some penalties there at the end of that one. That was.
There's a lot of angry drivers at the end of that one too.
Unsurprised. I saw 3 dumps in 3 laps. So, walk us through, man. What made you go with 2 tires?
Well, there was not a lot of tire fall off, and I'm sure when Malin comes up here, he is going to complain a lot about it. But yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of tire fall off. I knew taking 2 tires would get me some track position, because it was kind of unknown, really. Like we'd run about half the race, but tire heat. Like no one, I mean, people kind of had an idea, but I figured 2 tires was a good enough strategy to try and pull. I knew we'd have yellow, so if it didn't work, I could just get more tires. But no, there wasn't a lot of tire fall off. I knew I could take 2 tires, and me and Malin were running absolutely full out all the way to the end. That's how non-fall off the tires were. It was pretty fun, but it was interesting.
So your win percentage is back over 50%. You still haven't done worse than 2nd.
You've got the NACOS record for most wins in a career. You've broken the tie that you had with Cosman now. You have 4 wins. Cosman has 3 wins. So congratulations. You're the most winningest driver in NACOS history right now.
How does that feel?
That's pretty wild. I mean, I was hoping I could get there eventually. Thankfully, Cosman hasn't shown up yet and made me work for it too bad, because he's always super quick here. That's cool. I'm glad. Let's run that tally up, please. That's what I want.
All right. Well, as always, we got to ask a couple fans of yours in the chat tonight. Have anybody else you want to say hi to as well?
Yeah, I know for a fact my dad was watching. He watched his dad run Thompson and modifieds and all that stuff way back when. Old man. Obviously, thank you to him and anyone else I know that's watching. Thank you to Tommy for running a great race, and I wish he would have got it. He was so fast. It was his race. Thanks to you guys, as always, for putting on a great broadcast. Thanks to everyone at NACOS for putting on a great race. and that's about it.
All right, Davey. Well, we will see you, I'm sure, again soon. If
How
not for
about this
first,
time
we'll
next
see you
week, right?
This time, hey, let's do it again. This time next week.
Montreal, good luck with that. We'll see you back north of the border in a week.
And
Yes,
shout
sir.
out to Papa Hazard as well. So we will see you next week.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Davey Hazard, what a class act. Love to see him every time.
So
Let's
for
talk to the man who got a... Go ahead.
For the 800th time this year, let's talk to Tyler Mallon, who finished second. Seems like that's a commodity at this point.
Perennial bridesmaid, Tyler
Yeah.
Mallon, is in the house. But he's
Hi.
also muted. Is he going to talk to us?
There it is.
I'm
Oh, there you
yeah, all right. It says I'm muted, but I'm not actually muted for some reason.
Oh, okay, cool. Typical Discord. All right.
So talk to us, Tyler. How disappointing is that?
I'm not disappointed that I lost. I'm disappointed in the choice of track. There was no tire fall off whatsoever. I'm pretty sure if you looked in the eye, it would be literally just zero. It was flat out, basically. It was hot lapping every lap, and there was only one usable lane. So, yeah, it was a terrible track, and it should be bulldozed and never used again.
Well, at
I
least we
said
got
I
all
said a
sides of
similar
the
thing after
story.
the race. Yeah. I said a similar thing after the race, except a lot more profane. So,
Well, we're happy you kept it PC for the broadcast. So walk us through this trying to take down trying to take down Davey there in the last lap. Did you jump get too overzealous the lap before, and then you just didn't have anything for the last lap, or walk us through what happened there?
so I tried to move him out of the way a bit, and since there was so much grip, he literally probably didn't even have to lift at all. So just kind of drove off. Nothing I could do. But, he got out with 2 tires. I think that's how he got out in front, right?
Yep.
So that was an amazing call. So a good win.
Good to see strategy play every once in a while. So Tyler, as always, anybody you want to say hi to?
Hi, Russ.
Hi.
All right, Tyler. I'm sure we'll see you again. Hopefully you'll be in the winner's circle next time around.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right,
A
so there
grumpy
is
Tyler
second
Mallon.
place. Here's the replay of the dump and run on the last lap for fourth between Mr. Talica and Mr. Doe. 3 and 4, well, maybe. Here we go. And, I don't know. Looking at that replay, it almost looks to me like Huang turned down across Pan's nose. Let's go on board with Pan. And that looks to me like Huang turns right across Pan's nose. I don't think Pan did anything wrong there.
No, yeah, there might have been a misjudgment on the 69's part.
So,
Hate to see it though.
yeah. So final thoughts here, guys, as I'll pull up the points again. Tommy is long gone, and of course it'll refresh and do its thing. Sorry about showing that on stream, but whatever. Davey's gone. He's got a 35-point lead over Mallon. The top 4 in this race are the top 4 in points right now. I mean, I think it's safe to say that it's been domination between at least the top 3, if not the top 4 in points.
Yeah, it has. It has. I think this track really showed some inconsistency in its racing. Everybody was so well matched that nobody could really get a leg up on everybody. So I think once we get to a smaller track, maybe like Io and stuff, we should see some side by side and maybe see a different winner. But yeah, it's been the same 4 or 5 guys at the top of the board. It's just been we're constantly talking about them. It feels like.
Well,
and I gotta ask, being his first time in the booth for NACOS, how does it feel, Rusty? What do you got? What do you got for us?
You know, it was fun. We had a mix of a little bit of everything today. We had the hard racing, we had the strategy play up, but we also saw some carnage. We had a couple cars roll over, flip over. We saw a drive-through cause a couple issues in turn 3. It just was, like I said, unexpected, and it delivered today. I know drivers aren't happy, but that's the typical driver. But that was a good, fun race to be a part of.
final
Well,
thoughts
we were
here.
glad to have you here.
Final thoughts here, Trey, since we've already gotten Rusty's final thoughts there. And thank you so much again for joining us. I sincerely hope that you'll be back with us next week, back north of the border in Canada at Montreal.
Suck it. I'm not even going to try. Final thoughts from me. There were 3 cars that rolled. I think that's a record.
No, I don't think so.
For the number of rolls? For number of rolls in a race, I think that's a NACOS record. I'm not going to go back and confirm that, but I'm going to roll with it as if it's fact.
Roll with it. Pun. I got it.
You heard it here. Most rolls in a race. 3.
So we have a bar to set for Montreal next week. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you all coming out and watching here at Thompson. That wraps up our coverage for tonight. I don't think we're back in the States for another, 3 weeks.
Seems an awful lot like Canada more than North America, you know?
I mean, we're on the south side of the Canadian-U.S. border a lot more in the second half than we are in the first half. So we're getting there. We're back north of the border next week. We're at Circuit Circuit
Longville.
Yeah, for the CMR Lottery 666. We'll be with you next week, right around 8 o'clock or so. On behalf of Rusty Walrus, Trace Ryder, I'm Jacob Hitz. I should put the credits up. There you go. We will see you a week from tonight. And don't forget that we'll be covering the shrimps at Le Mans next weekend. We'll have more on that next week. So from all of us, thanks so much. I'm Jacob Hitz. Till we meet again. See you next week. Good night.